and welcome in to be our guest. If you're watching the legislature, one of the top things on their agenda going into this session is prison reform, and the fact we have overcrowded prisons. And the biggest problem we've got is that when a person serves time and they leave prison, bingo, they're just out in society with no place to go. Well, luckily about 12 years ago, and I'll get that number for sure in a second here, a number of people in Montgomery decided that they needed to put together a place for men to go when they leave prison to get them on the right track. And today we have with us Nelson Smith. We call him Smitty.
Thank you.
Pat Crowley. And Pat, you and I have been friends for God knows how long, more than 2 weeks. But your husband Joe was instrumental years ago in getting Renascence started, which is tell the audience what it is.
It is a residential reentry program for men coming out of prison on probation or parole that don't have a place to go. And it is a place that is a structured environment for these men. They come in, they have rules that they need to follow, and we also provide them services like transportation to get identification, access to medical care. We also provide in-house mental health support, courtesy of the Montgomery Mental Health Association. That is a recent phenomenon within the past year, which is a very good thing.
Absolutely.
And like I said, we provide them transportation to getting their IDs and driver's licenses and things of this sort. They have to, and we also encourage them to get employment if they are not going through the Pardons and Paroles Day Reporting Center with the regimen that they have. And when they get jobs, and we encourage them to do that, then they have to pay us $25% of their earnings back. So number one, they're
so they're paying for the room and board.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But until they get a job, we take care of them. We provide them food, and we have clothing. We actually have a little, what we call Walmart, a little room where we have clothes that have been donated for these men to wear when they come on. Because when these people come out of prison, they don't really have anything.
No, I know.
You know, they come out, and in fact, historically, up until recently, about 8,500 men a year come out on probation or parole, and most of them have no family connections or problematic family connections. Job skills are negligible. Many are chemically dependent and so forth. And the other thing about the Renascence is we do not allow any kind of drug, alcohol use. We have to police that very much because these people have to learn to transition into society, and you can't do that when you're on drugs. It's a challenge.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Pat, for about the past, this is what, the 6th year for the ping pong tournament?
I believe it's the 5th year.
5th year, okay.
One of the major fundraisers, because 25% of somebody in a minimum wage job in no way pays
not gonna
for
pay for
keeping the doors open.
Right.
So one of the major fundraisers is a ping pong tournament, which is a service to the Montgomery and the River Region community.
Yes,
Nobody else is offering a ping pong tournament. And there's a preview party the night before.
Silent auction, food.
With a silent auction,
things,
food, dancing, and the opportunity to play ping pong. And we have very generous sponsors that subsidize these events. And so we want to encourage as many people as possible to come, have a good time, and play and support the people who are trying to bounce back into productive life, just like the ping pong ball goes back
and of course, the event's on the 7th, which is a Saturday. That's the ping pong day.
Yes.
And the 6th. So there's 2 parts of the event. If someone says, well, I want to just come and see or participate, what do they have to do that?
You can go to the website, the Renascence website, halfway-home.net. Register for the tournament and or the preview party.
Okay.
Pay in advance. Or you can just come to the door for the tournament.
Okay.
And can you donate via that website as well?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Because it's such a, I'm not familiar with another service quite like what you're doing.
There is nothing else for men in the River Region. There is a halfway house for women.
Right.
Yes.
But there are very few in the state, and there are even fewer that are staffed 24/7 and that are drug-free, drug or alcohol-free.
Right.
That's amazing.
So it's, we all know about the prison overcrowding situation.
yes, that's
but
what
if
we opened
people
with.
don't have a home plan, they can't
No.
get paroled.
Yeah.
And so we are the home plan for the men who come to Renascence.
Well, I can't thank you enough, because we've often said that if you can train somebody so that when they come out of prison, they can go right into a job, that's half the problem.
Right.
You know, they've got nothing to do, and then all of a sudden they're
Right.
going to get back into their same habits. But
Right.
looks like you've got that pretty much covered.
We do our best. Part of it also is to try to restore their dignity.
Absolutely.
You know, these are real.
Absolutely.
These are whole people.
Right.
And this takes a village. You know, the legislature has to do its job to oversee prison, the Department of Corrections, because these people need to be rehabilitated. They
Right.
need to be returned to society where they can be productive, and be productive to themselves as human beings.
That's right.
Well, there are people who have done bad things, but they may not be bad people.
That's right.
So,
Great way to look at it. Well, thanks for what you're doing. Remember, it's this coming up weekend. It's March the 7th. For information, again, we put that on there. Go to their website. We'll be right back right after this.